Hi, I'm Brittany, and welcome to Harmony Schools. For this project, I'm basically going to go over what the lungs are like, how they function, the levels of organization, and scientific principles that go along with it. For this project, I basically made a model of the lungs using a water bottle, 2 balloons, 1 rubber band, 1 straw, some Play-Doh, scissors, and a pencil? Yeah, a pencil. When I finally got my model to work, I pulled down on the bottom balloon that you see here. That represents the diaphragm. And when I pulled down on it, it allowed the balloon on the inside to inflate. When I released the bottom balloon, it allowed the inside balloon to deflate, which is basically how the lungs work. The reason this happened relates to the lungs in very similar ways. It all relies on air pressure. One of my scientific principles is the gas exchange and the pressure difference. When atmospheric pressure is low on the outside, air from lungs flows out. When pressure is low inside, air flows in. Basically, during inhalation, your body breathes in air and the external intercostal muscles contract and the internal ones relax. This increases the volume in the thoracic cavity. The diaphragm also contracts to help extend the cavity downwards further. The function of the pleural membrane increases the lung size, allowing for low air pressure. This basically allows for air to be drawn in. Exhalation is whenever the air goes out of your lungs. And that basically happens whenever the air pressure is higher than the external atmosphere. This is achieved by the relaxation of the external intercostal muscle, which brings the ribcage inwards, plus the diaphragm bulges upwards. The internal intercostal muscle contracts to pull the ribcage in. This decreases the volume of the cavity and thus pushes the air out of your lungs and into the ecosystem. Gas exchange occurs in the alveoli. The alveolar walls, which are really thin, make a close proximity between the epithelial and the endothelial cells. This allows permeability to gases, which causes gas exchange. My ELA component was basically a paper over how my model of my lung and the actual lung relate to each other. Since I've already gone over this, I'll go ahead and spare us that time of talking. For my social studies component, I talked about how different things can affect the lungs and how the lungs affect society. Basically, I talked about how smoking can affect your lungs in a very, very negative way. It can lead to lung cancer and other types of diseases such as bronchitis. Asthma can be one caused by secondhand smoke. I basically went over these kinds of dangers that can happen and how our communities have gone through the trouble to ban smoking in areas such as restaurants and some public places. So that's about it. To conclude, basically the lungs function breathing in and out with gas exchange. When the lungs expand, it allows air to breathe in due to low air pressure. And when the air pressure gets too high, your lungs exhale that air. Another question that I need to answer for my driving question is if there's smaller levels of organization or larger levels of organization. There is. The levels of organization in order are atoms, molecules, organelles, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organisms, population, community, ecosystem. It goes on. The lung is an organ, and it basically goes down like that. And that's about it for this project. Thank you for watching Harmony Schools. Bye.